Bold Moves is about innovation. It's about moving forward. It's about a person or a being or a group of people who are confident in who they are. And Ford Motor Company started that way.
They say a corporation has no heart and soul. I believe the Ford has a heart and soul. You see, Ford is a family. There's still a Ford there. There's always been a Ford that's interested.
My dad worked at Ford. I worked at Ford. I retired from Ford.
28 years.
28 years.
28. 28. 32. 32.
Over 100-something years, 200 years right here.
Ford is a part of Americana. I mean, it's been around for 100+ years. Henry Ford founded the automotive industry. He was one of the pioneers. And the fact that we're still around after 100 years speaks volumes. Historically, you can point to products like the original Mustang, which created the pony car segment. You know, SUV wasn't a term back then. We created the original Explorer. It's a brand that really transcends. It sort of symbolized freedom.
Ford Motor Company, $5 a day. They come up in like 1905, 1906. They come up here in waves, man, to get the job. Ford helped the people on both sides of the fence, white and black.
This is about America, really. It's a story about a family, it's a story about a company, but it's also a story about America and where America's going. The auto industry is in a state of major crisis and may really be completely overtaken by the Japanese. This is a company that really could go down.
We're at a turning point as a company.
Our pricing is totally irrational if we're going to be successful against the real competitor, which is not the big three, but it's Toyota, Honda, and Nissan.
In their price range, they're offering a lot more better. You can say it, you know, more power, more interior room, and more quality materials on their cars.
Maybe we didn't really care for the brand as we should have, and we might have gotten bored and tried to make it something that it wasn't.
They were pushing quality, but they weren't delivering quality compared to the Japanese.
We've announced closings. It's probably the most difficult thing that we do.
How much more can Detroit take, you know? We've got the worst economy in the entire country. I think Ohio is like second, you know? And it's all because of the auto industry and, you know, everything's being made overseas now.
Michigan, in this area, Dearborn, the grass grows blue. Ford, who's going to support America, period, when it's all gone?
It's been just about 2 months since we launched the Way Forward plan and our return to profitability no later than 2008.
You know, before you start a journey, you have to kind of recognize where you're coming from. We're in trouble because we lost touch with the consumer. If you don't offer to those consumers what they want, there are other alternatives that they can go to. So when that happens, the business gets upside down and you have to fix it.
It is 7 o'clock at WJR Detroit from the New York Auto Show at the Jacob K. Javits Convention Center. Coming up, our first guest in this next half hour, Mr. Mark Fields. You know, he's been kind of called the rock star of the automotive industry. What is the camera crew doing? They're just following you around everywhere, Mark?
Hey, Frederick, how are you?
Mr. Fields,
how are you? Hey, Phil.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Good to see you.
I got a man with a lot of titles. It's Mark Fields. He's Executive Vice President, President of the Americas, North and South America.
Sometimes it's just too darn long. I work for Ford. Now, it's Mark Fields and the team.
What share of the turnaround is going to come from cost cuts?
It's a whole host of things. There's no one silver bullet. This change or die mantra, so to speak, is meant to get that urgency. When did they introduce this? Is it on the market yet?
This summer.
This summer? It's very easy in our own little offices to create our own reality about what it means to be competitive. The same IP as the Tahoe.
Yes.
When you walk around the shows, you're seeing it in the flesh. Wow. It's a continual wake-up call that you can't rest one iota in this business. You do, and you're dead.
3 years from now, what do I want people to be thinking about and talking about Ford Motor Company? Of course, I want them to be talking about the great products we have on the street, the great turnaround we've done, we've proved the naysayers wrong, and then I just rewind back from there to today. And then figure, okay, what do we need to do today to help us get to that future point?
There's a lot of employees that have been here 20 and 30 years, and they've been through the thick and the thin. And you know what? They're still here. Because there's been thin prior to now, and there's been thick in between. And they're just as proud of that Ford Oval being on the buildings as I am.
Change or die, baby. That's what it's all about.
If you have one of these cars, you may also have a chauffeur and a pretty big bank account. This Rolls-Royce costs more than an average house in some cities. But a house is just a place to live, and you can really live it up if you have a car like this. Since the company's inception in 1906, Rolls-Royce has been going the extra mile when it comes to perks and performance. For many people, the car they drive is a measure of their personal success, and you don't get much more successful than this. Each Rolls-Royce starts with a hand-welded aluminum body shell that's rigid yet lightweight. Then, workers handcraft the components for a lavish interior. This gadget stitches together sheets of wooden veneer. The veneers have been cut from the same piece of wood. Workers match the grain so each side is a mirror image of the other. The technique is called book matching, and the look is seamless luxury. There are 40 or more solid wooden parts in the interior of this Rolls. These are for the dashboard. Each of these parts is hand-finished. Workers meticulously polish the wood with a special paste that enhances the grain. A lacquer job puts a shine on the woodwork. Inspectors scrutinize the leather for any natural defects and mark them in white. They'll work around those blemishes, so no imperfections will be visible on the car's upholstery. It will take as many as 18 hides to make all the seats, panels, and consoles. Leather pieces are carefully stretched onto various components. The fit is set with a dryer. Ensuring the sewn leather parts conform to all the curves and crevices on the door panels can be tricky. But these workers, some of them former saddle makers, are experts at the job. They mount the upholstered leather parts to the car's interior and secure them tightly with screws. They fit handles and control panels into the tailored slots. Next, they attach switches, wiring, and other controls to the instrument panel. This framework has been crafted from a single piece of magnesium, so there aren't any squeaky joints. The impressive radiator grille has a purpose besides bringing in cool air. It houses the Rolls' signature hood ornament and its automated platform. Workers test the platform to confirm that it rises and retracts smoothly. Then, they mount it under an opening at the top of the grille. They check the spacing around the opening's cover to make sure there's enough room for things to run smoothly. The Rolls-Royce mascot is called the Spirit of Ecstasy. With the mascot now locked in proud position, workers are ready to assemble the car's mechanics. So stay tuned. This Rolls-Royce is looking good. The body shell has the long lines of luxury. It's been equipped with flawless leather upholstery and elegant wooden paneling. Plush and posh, this car is now ready for some serious engine power. It's bumper-to-bumper opulence at this factory, as these cars are lined up to receive their engine components. Workers install soundproofing material on the floor of the car to muffle engine noise. Then, they run the wiring loom along the length of the vehicle. This is the car's nervous system. It transmits huge amounts of information that help run the engine, transmission, even the car's entertainment system. Next, the engine and transmission system are hoisted onto a metal platform. This V12 engine has 400 plus horsepower. Workers complete the assembly and make some final adjustments. Then it's time for the engine and car body to become one. They call this the marriage. The platform rolls the engine down an aisle to be joined with the awaiting car body. Then it lifts the engine into the cavity of the car. It's secured with bolts. Then the platform moves away to get the next engine for the next car. Workers double-check the installation and mark parts with yellow to confirm that they've been fitted. The engine is now installed, but there are still a number of steps before the car is complete. The instrument control panel is mounted to the dashboard and gets an upholstered leather cushion. Veneer paneling is fitted around the dashboard controls. And the headlining, made of cashmere and wool, goes into place. Workers check the hydraulic cup holders in the rear of the car. Then they install two batteries, one for the engine, the other for the cabin controls. A rocker cover is fastened to the engine to stifle any noise. They hook up a large air intake system because optimum engine function requires a lot of airflow. There'll be no fingerprints on this windshield. After it's wiped clean, workers use a pulley system with suction cups to lower it onto the car. It's taped into place to allow the adhesive to set. Then it's measured to ensure a perfect fit. Next, the wheel arch liners are installed. These hefty guards will protect the car body from mud, gravel, and debris. Finally, the wheels are mounted, and this Rolls-Royce is ready to roll. It takes several weeks to assemble a Rolls-Royce, compared to the day or two it takes to manufacture an ordinary vehicle. That's part of the reason why one of these will set you back a princely sum. But if you win the lottery, this could be one way to splurge.